Next week could easily turn out to be a very huge buying opportunity in stocks. And in this video, I'm going to explain to you guys my thoughts regarding that, what catalysts are coming up, and a few other things that I want to talk about regarding this subject. So let's go ahead and get right into the video. First thing I want to say is I am not a trader. Now, contrary to popular belief, I am not against stock trading. If that is something that people want to do, or they feel they've managed their risk enough where they can afford to mess around with trading stocks, or they really know what they're doing, then fine. I have no issue with that. But for me personally, I am a long-term investor. And so the reason why I am looking at next week as a huge buying opportunity is simply so I could get a better buy price in some of my favorite long-term stocks, as well as a better dollar cost average opportunity. Even though the stocks that I have, I plan to hold forever. If Apple goes back to the 150s, if Microsoft goes back to 275, if Google goes back to 2514, why wouldn't I take advantage of some of those buying opportunities, right? So that's what I'm looking at for me. We're already seeing a huge retracement in the indexes, especially in tech stocks, which you guys know I absolutely love tech stocks. So let me show you guys what I'm looking at, right? I'm going to put the phone on Do Not Disturb. Oh, screen record, I'm sorry. So looking at the NASDAQ has retraced very, very nicely. The NASDAQ is down pretty well. And what I'm paying attention to is that March 14th level. So we look over here. March 14th was at about 13,046. We're already at 13. We're in the 13s. We're at 13,893. Let me show you guys a better indicator. If we go to the QQQ, you can see here the QQQ is very close to that March 14th level. So what are we at? 338. The lowest that we hit was 317. Honestly, I'm not going to lie to you. Even at this level, I would not mind buying tech stocks right here. Now, obviously, I wouldn't buy all of them. Apple has not reached the buy zone for me, but the fact that the QQQ is down so much means that there are some tech stocks that have gone down, and I can tell you a few. Microsoft is down pretty well. Google is down pretty well, and these are stocks that I will be looking at to buy more in dollar cost average, especially if we continue to see the QQQ go down or the NASDAQ continue to go down, which I think could happen next week. I would not be surprised to see it, and I think it will be a huge buying opportunity. Now, here's what it is mostly centered around for me, okay? And you don't have to agree with my thesis, but this is what I'm thinking, right? So we had numerous banks and professionals and economists come out and say that they think that inflation is going to start to come down. Well, that's not what they said. They said they think that inflation has peaked. And I want to make sure there's a very important distinction here, because it's important to keep in mind that even if inflation peaks, that does not mean that we are in the clear. What we need to see is inflation begin to come down. Inflation could easily have peaked in March, but still remain high. And that's the issue. And that's what we do not want to happen. We need to see inflation come down. We need to see prices come down. And to be honest with you, I am hopeful that we'll see it. I'm not predicting, but I'm hopeful that that's what we'll see. I think that can be a good catalyst for the stock market to bring it back up. And that's why I'm looking at those key levels on the current retracement to start buying more of my favorite tech stocks, because you guys know I am mostly a tech investor. That's just what I love. The other huge catalyst we have coming up that I think is going to go well, regardless of anybody agreeing with me, you don't have to agree. In about 2 weeks, next week is when I think is the buy, right? The week after that, we have mega big cap tech earnings. I think earnings will be good. Obviously, you cannot predict this stuff. I am not in the business of predicting this stuff, but that's just what I think is going to happen. And so now what am I doing? Am I predicting that the market is going to continue to go up in the short term once we all buy in? No, at least not exactly. What I am predicting is that next week we will see some good buying opportunities in some of our favorite stocks. I guess my favorite stocks. That is what I'm thinking. And looking at the level that the QQQ is retracing back to, it is making me very bullish and happy to buy stocks, because you guys know I'm nothing like Warren Buffett, but I love what he says when he says when stocks go down, I get happy. And that's honestly how I feel. When stocks go down, I get really happy. When it comes to individual stocks, I like to be patient a little bit, because individual stocks are so volatile, and this is going to be such a volatile year. So I put money on the side, because I'm like, when Tesla goes back to 700, buy. When Apple goes back to 150, when Microsoft goes back to 270, buy. And we're starting to see that, and it's making me really happy. And I think that's what's going to happen next week. I think next week we'll either see the QQQ kind of stay where it's at, maybe, and I would honestly still buy. I told you guys, Google, I already bought some. I'll be looking to buy again. And Microsoft, I would be looking to buy more of that as well. Those are my favorite companies because they're the best in the world at what they do. And so that is my plan. And I strongly believe that based on the retracement that we are seeing in the overall market and in tech stocks, I think it could continue. Now, of course, I could always be wrong, but I think next week is going to continue. And if it does, I'm buying. And so just wanted to give you guys some catalysts coming up because I think it is very important. And the reason why I bring up these catalysts is not for trading purposes, but just because these catalysts could affect the market so much that we could get an even bigger opportunity to buy the stocks that we like. So that'd be great. So I already told you guys, big tech earnings is in 2 weeks, I guess. So today's Friday. Yeah, 2 weeks. Next week, no. The week after that, big tech earnings, April 26th to April 28th. May 4th, you've got FOMC. So FOMC is actually both days. It's on May 3rd and then May 4th. But May 4th is the key day because you've got the FOMC meeting followed by the press conference. That's the key. So May 4th is going to be the big day. And then May 11th, you have CPI print. All of these could affect the stock market either negatively or positively in the short term. And you guys know me. I like to take advantage of short-term market sentiment to build my position for the long term. And it's worked for me. Some people think that average cost doesn't matter. I personally think it matters. I don't really like to buy individual stocks unless they come down to key levels that I like. Now, if they break those key levels, like I told you guys, AMD broke a key level. AMD broke that $97 to $100 range, and it's at like $95 now. So I'm waiting on AMD. Now, I did actually buy some at that $100 level, but I didn't put all my money in there. So now that AMD broke 95, I would not be shocked to see AMD go to the 80s. And that's the next buy target for me. So that's kind of the way that I'm looking at this. Because like I said, average cost matters to me. I want to get these things as low as I can. And if I see some obvious signs that things are going to go lower, for example, QQQ, I think QQQ is going to go lower, which I think the tech stocks are going to go lower with it. I think AMD is going to go lower, and that's a buy. So that's it. I just wanted to share with you guys my thoughts, and that's what I honestly think. So we will see how next week plays out. Like I said, I could always be wrong. And even if the QQQ doesn't continue to go lower or the NASDAQ just kind of flatlines and stays where it's at, honestly, I think right now is a nice buying opportunity. I told you guys there's some really nice opportunities. I told you guys about Microsoft and Google. Just looking real quick at my watch list, if there's anything else that I saw, not that I see. I am paying attention to Apple. If Apple goes to the 150s, that's a buy. Oh, NVIDIA's a buy. Yeah, NVIDIA 212. NVIDIA's good. Tesla's not a buy yet. I see Microsoft's at 279. Yeah. I need more tech stocks on my list. But okay, there you guys have it. That'll go and conclude today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next one.